More on this issue, we're joined in the studio by Ahmed Ronim, a member of the Fatah movement, and Reserves Colonel Grisha Yakubovich, who is a former head of Kogat, which is the Israeli agency in charge of security issues at the Gaza border, among other things. Let me start with you. So much skepticism about this Palestinian reconciliation, but this seems to be a significant step. How important is it in that reconciliation process?
It's very important. It's a historical day for the Palestinian people. It's another historical day. We are moving in the right track. I think we will succeed to end this chapter in our, which it caused the pain for the Palestinian people. Today we had received back the boundaries from the hands of Hamas, and the Palestinian National Authority took over all the control and all over the boundaries.
And let me turn to you, Grisha. How should Israel regard this step, especially on the security issues which Israel sees so crucial there at the Gaza crossings?
First of all, I was the head of the civilian department and not the head of Kogat. He's a major general.
Okay.
Yes, this is really a historical day and also a strategical day. This process started after Operation Protective Edge, when Israel's policy was a very simple one. If we would need to allow to reconstruct the Gaza Strip, we will do it through the Palestinian Authority. And that's how we wrote this mechanism of inspection through the mechanism, through the Palestinian Authority and with the UN. So now the Palestinian Authority is back. Number one, it opens the door for Gaza reconstruction. But we need to make sure that there will be trust that will be built between both sides. So somebody else now that is not in control will not use those building materials or dual-use materials to build the force again.
Or build tunnels under the Gaza border.
To build tunnel under the Gaza border, the attack tunnels, okay, into Israel. That's the most problematic issue. Or to build more rockets or more mortar shells. We need, I believe that Israel will check the situation and then there will be a policy implemented. But the winners, it's not a triple win, it's a quadruple win, because all players win from this step. Egypt, as a major player that succeeded to bring both sides to this reconciliation. Hamas are also a winner in this move. Somebody else will have to deal with the crisis in Gaza in 2020.
Ahmed, I want to ask you, when we talk about the winners, the people of Gaza, how will this work to their benefit, especially when we talk about the Rafah border crossing in Egypt, which could potentially be open a lot more than it has been in the last few years?
I think things will move step by step. The people will feel the change as soon as possible. 10 years of the coup is so long time, and we believe that all the Palestinians in Gaza have suffered from this coup, and we will try to change the situation. We are moving in 3 bases. The first base, this is the participation. We will not exclude anybody, or will not allow to anybody to exclude us. And the second base, this is the graduality. We will move step by step. We understand that we need a lot of effort to change the situation. The third base, this is the most important phase. If we fail in the third base, that means all of we will be in front of collapse. This is the base of doing the change. We need to do the change in the basic life of the Palestinian people, in the economic situation, in the public service. The people must feel the change as soon as possible. We prepare ourselves. We prepare the plans within 1 year to start changing the situation in the ground.
And the elephant in the room, of course, is that Hamas is still saying they will not disarm. That problem lies ahead for the international community, for the PA, for Israel, correct?
It's not only the elephant, it's a big elephant.
It could crush the whole thing. Crush.
But as Mr. Ronim said, this will work step by step. So step number 1, by the way, if you look at the negotiation between us and the Palestinians, what did we do? We did the same thing. Let's agree about what we can agree, and let's keep the important issues like Jerusalem to the future. So the same thing is actually happening here. They agreed with Egypt in between about the things that they agree like the crossings today. This is the first step to implement this agreement. Step number 2 will be the sanctions, that there were already declarations from the PA that they will be removed. It means 1 billion shekels.
And it means more electricity for the people of Gaza.
It's not more electricity. It's the same electricity before the sanctions started, because more electricity, it means you have to build more networks. You need to add more electricity from Israel.
But since you raised that in terms of the sanctions, Ahmed, do the Palestinians expect that Israel will now ease some of the sanctions that have been put on the Gaza Strip now that the border crossing?
We are looking for that. I think the boundaries will work according to the agreement which had been agreed by Israel itself, Egypt, Palestinian National Authority, and Israel itself. So we are looking for the day that the Prime Minister of Israel understands the situation better and start dealing with the issue and changing the military policies which had forced the Palestinians to pay because of the continuance of the siege.
Okay, Ahmed Ronim and Grisha Yakubovich, who headed the civilian department in Kogat, thanks for joining us on our special edition. And we have lots more to come, so please stay